Hello my lovelies, today's video is going to be a really fun kind of smoky green liner look using the Jaclyn Hill Dark Magic palette. Like I showed you at the very beginning of the video, we did go ahead and just prime our whole face with the NYX Bear With Me spray and then popped on some tape to keep our liner nice and sharp while we're doing our blending. And then, of course, we are also going to just get our eyelids nice and primed today using the e.l.f. Camo Concealer. And then I am just setting it down with some of the Airspun translucent powder so that it doesn't give us much patchiness, which we're going to have anyways, actually. So jumping right into the Dark Magic palette, we're going to use the shade Potion, which is this really pretty kind of army green shade. And I'm taking this on a little short shader brush, and we are just buffing it basically right into the lash line area, and then following that tape up. And really what you're doing is putting the eyeshadow where you would normally put like a liquid liner if you were doing winged liner. So that's kind of the template we're following, and I'm just really buffing it out into that shape. And then once we have kind of our initial blend done, I did find it was a little bit better to pat this shade into where I want it to be to really get the intensity to build up, because unfortunately it was a little patchy for me today. And I swear I've used this shade before and it didn't give me problems, but today it was giving me problems. And then I'm going to take that same shade on a little small angled brush to pull it down into the inner corner because I don't want it to be too wide down there. For our darker shade on our liner today, we're using the shade Trickery, which is this really pretty kind of emerald shimmery green. Which is gorgeous, and I'm starting with it on an angled brush, and I'm just really buffing it into like right into the lash line and going ahead and pulling it into the inner corner. You can see I'm saying it's so pretty. Then once we have our kind of initial shape laid down, I'm going to take that shade on a different short little shader brush and really buff it into our little liner shape. And I do take it basically to the edge of where we blended out that army green, leaving just a little bit on the edges for the blending and adding just a tiny bit more once I have all of my Trickery shade built up, just because we do want it to be a little smoky, a little soft, so we don't want any harsh lines. For a little bit of added dimension, I'm going to completely block the screen with my palette first of all. I'm going to pop on a little bit of liquid liner. I'm not going to do a super thick wing, just a little one to add, again, that little bit of dimension, a little bit of darkness to the look. And I actually do, I forgot to show you, but I do go in with the Trickery shade over top of it a little bit to kind of bring it to more of that green shade we're going for. Then before we finish up our eyes, we're going to go ahead and move on to the face very quickly, starting by priming with the Tarte Base Tape Primer, which is nice and moisturizing, and then using a little bit of the Touch in Soul No Pore Bloom Primer, which I'm just focusing in kind of my more porous areas, so my T-zone and to the sides of my nose. And then as I have extra, you can see I'm just pulling it towards the outer edges of my face, so that we're not wasting product. And then for foundation today, we're using the Too Faced Born This Way foundation, which I haven't used in forever, and I still love. It's still great. I've just been using that ColourPop tinted moisturizer so much lately, so that's why I haven't used it. And then for concealer, I'm going in with the Yensa, I believe it's pronounced. This is the Skin on Skin BC concealer. And this is more of a dewy kind of finish for me, which I find I really like under my eyes, because once I set it down, it doesn't tend to crease as much as other ones do that are more of like a natural to matte finish. And I'm just blending that out underneath the eye with a beauty sponge, and then taking it on a little small flat brush into the inner corner so we don't mess anything up there. I'm going to go ahead and set our whole face down with the Airspun translucent powder as well, starting with a smaller brush underneath the eyes and kind of in any of the areas I applied concealer, and then taking a bigger brush to just get the whole rest of the face set down. The foundation usually doesn't require as much precision as the concealer does. And then for bronzer today, we are using this Becca, I believe it's the Sunrise Waves Gradient Bronzer. I'll have the product names of everything I used today down in the description like always. And I'm just blending that in our typical areas, so right below our cheekbones, across the forehead and temples. Then I do take it on a little brush on the sides of my nose, just to really warm the face up and give us some dimension back after we flattened everything out with the foundation and concealer. And then once we're all bronzed, I'm going to go ahead and put on my brows. And I don't remember the name of this brow pencil, and I couldn't find it when I sat down to record this voiceover, but I will find it and it will be in the description as well. It's just one of those like universal brow pencils, so it gives you kind of the darker brown shade. And I'm just filling my brows in like I usually do, so kind of starting with the tail and then moving inwards and leaving kind of more of a soft look towards the inner portion of the brow, by just really blending it out with a spoolie and then just making sure everything else is nice and blended. Then once our brows are on, we're going to jump back and finish up our eyes really quick. Starting with the Potion shade on that short little shader brush, I'm really just going to buff this onto the lower lash line. And I don't want to pull it too far down, but just enough that it's like it's there. And then I'm going to blend it out with a fluffy brush to make it so we have more of a soft edge on it. And then once that is done, I am actually taking that Trickery shade on a short shader brush as well. And I'm buffing this one about 3/4 of the way across. The original Potion shade I took almost all the way into the inner corner of the eye. And then I'm going to take that same Trickery shade on an angled brush here, and I'm going to just connect our upper liner down to our lower lash line so that everything's nice and cohesive and yeah, everything's connected. Then I'm going to blush, but first I realized I had some fallout on my face. So I'm going to take a little bit of extra powder on my little small brush and I'm just going to flick that away. And then for blush today, we're going to be using the Tarte Amazonian Clay Blush in Blissful, which is just kind of a nice peachy pink shade. And we are going to just blend that on the apples of our cheeks back up towards our temples. Alright, then we're going to go ahead and highlight with the Makeup Forever Pro Light Fusion highlight today. This is kind of a very white, pinky highlight. I haven't used it in forever, so I wanted to use it today. We're just going to go ahead and apply it in my typical areas as well. So I like to do top of the cheekbones, down the bridge of the nose, and then I also do the Cupid's bow, and then just a little bit on the chin and the forehead, so that the glow is just kind of all over. It looks more natural than just like super highlighted cheekbones, although I am going to do that as well. Then once our face is all highlighted, I'm going to take that same highlighter on a little small brush, and I am going to use it to also highlight the inner corners and up on the brow bone. And I do like using the same highlighter to highlight everything just because I feel like everything feels more cohesive, but you don't have to. We're going to pop on some clear brow gel, which I haven't done yet apparently. And then we're going to set our whole face down using this Scandinavia makeup finishing spray. And then I promise I did curl my eyelashes. I don't know why I don't have footage of it. But I went ahead and curled my lashes. And then we're applying some of the Benefit Roller Lash Mascara, which I haven't used in a while. And then I got it in my Ipsy bag again. And I definitely don't love it, but it's pretty good. It's not bad. Then we are going to go ahead and pop on some lashes today. These are the AmyJuneLashes in the style Lana, and then I'm going to just touch up around my lips a little bit with foundation and pop on the Urban Decay. This is one of their 24/7 lipsticks in the shade Oblivion, which is a mega matte, and it's kind of this very cool toned, almost like grayy color. And then once that is on, then it's going to be it for this look. So I really hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you did, please don't forget to like and comment. It helps me out a ton, and especially if you want to let me know what kinds of videos you would like to see. Please also don't forget to subscribe before you go and hit the notification bell so that you're notified whenever I post a new video. and I'll see you guys all in my next one.